Hello and welcome back to the Villa View for a preview ahead of Aston Villa's game in the Carabao Cup in the second round against Wigan Athletic at home tomorrow evening. Let's get into it. So we actually go into this game having won a game of football at the weekend. Feels a rarity to say already this season, which is quite bad for the third game in, but it does feel that long. Winning 4-2 against Norwich at the weekend, Conor Hourihane with a hat-trick and then a goal for Andre Green, finally for him. And it was a very pleasing performance given the midweek shame that was Reading away from home, where it was so bad that anything could have been better on Saturday. And it was much better. The shackles were off the players. The likes of Conor Hourihane were allowed to give free rein in midfield, try and create chances. Keenan Davis actually made his first full debut for Aston Villa, and he made a real impact for us up front. He bullied the Norwich defenders and schooled them, as I put it, in the fan camp. And we scored 4 goals. Just deserves, I think, for me, performance-wise. It was a lot better, a lot more attacking intent, and defensively, still a bit shaky for my liking. The 2 goals we did concede, I think, could have been prevented, but in the end of the day, we scored 4 goals. It's something we haven't done and been on the winning side since we played Sunderland a few years ago, I think it was. The stat was, and it's the first time midfielders actually scored a hat-trick for Aston Villa since 1991, before I was born. It makes me feel old. Dan was probably about 20 at the time already, so he'll remember that one. But yeah, real good sign to try and get some momentum going now against Wigan tomorrow, who have started the season really well as well, to be honest. They're top of League One, joint top, should I say, with 9 points, beating MK Dons, Bury and Oldham at the weekend to make it 9 points out of a possible 9. And they're going good. They've lost Omar Bogle. He's gone to Cardiff City last week for around £1 million. But they've still got some really talented players amongst that squad. The likes of Nick Powell scored 3 times already this season. He's already got an assist to his name. Then another one is Jacobs, who I really like. I think he's a good little clever player, especially for at League One level. And then as well as that, they've got Ivan Toney on loan from Newcastle United. Played at Northampton a bit last season. Good player up front for them, and he's been leading the line for them. And then you can't avoid the fact that they have got Will Grigg. And they're going to be looking to try and bounce back straight to the Championship after relegation alongside Rotherham last season. And I think that really they could well be the team that'll go up from the league, beating Accrington in the first round of this competition a few weeks back now to get to this point where they face Aston Villa at Villa Park, where traditionally they've had mixed amounts of luck. Last season in particular, winning only 1-0 Aston Villa for a strike from Jack Grealish, and it was a get-out-of-jail moment where we really didn't like winning the game of football and we ended up winning it because of him. And then we played them away from home. I think they were just going to be relegated, or they'd just been relegated, about to be, and we beat them. Scott Hogan with a goal, and I think Conor Hourihane actually scored his first goal for Villa in that game as well. So it's got hallmarks of potentially being us going into the third round, but I think we have to be cautious. So I'm expecting it to be Jed Sear in goal. He sort of became our cup goalkeeper. I've got no issues with him being in goal. I think he's been good when he played for us against Colchester in the first round. Then that back 4, I think it's going to be at left back, Richie Delat or James Bree. Take your pick. I'm going to go with Delat at left back. In the middle, it's going to be, I think it's going to be Chris Samba alongside James Chester. And then at right back, James Bree, Richie Delat, so James Bree on the right-hand side for me. Moving further forward, I think it's going to be midfield of Mili Jednak. I think he'll finally get a run out. Been training recently. I think he must have failed a fitness test or something not to play at the weekend against Norwich, but I think we'll finally see the return of him. Callum O'Hare hasn't played today for the under-23s against Stoke City in a 2-1 loss, so I'd imagine he'll be playing a part. He impressed me a lot when he played for us against Colchester in the first round of the Cup. Alongside Callum O'Hare, I'm going to go with Henry Lansbury. Starting to show glimpses of what he can do in a Villa shirt. A few assists at the weekend. Started to ping the ball about a bit more. Played a more natural position for him, and it's really worked out for him. Moving further forward from that, I think up front it's going to be Keenan Davis. I think he deserves the chance to lead the line again. Potentially, though, I know Dan hasn't picked him because Dan thinks he'll start against Bristol City. I think that's possibly a good argument. And then alongside that, I'm going to go with Albert Adoma on the one side, and then I'm going to go with Berke Bjarnason at left wing. But I think we're going to see a more attacking performance, and we need to continue the playing style that we went with against Norwich City. It worked quite well. The shackles were off the players, and I think it really benefited the side. And it's something we haven't done enough under Steve Bruce, and I think that's the main reason that fans have had a gripe against him, is the fact that we've got into games and we've sat too defensively and it's backfired. Now, on Saturday, we had about 20 shots on goal, I think it was. Didn't have the most possession in the world again, but when you're attacking more and you're on the front foot, it's susceptible to have teams trying to break you down through possession, and that's sort of what happened. Charge battery pack. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So, as I was saying before, I was very rudely interrupted by my camera dying on me. 3 games in the space of 10 days really doesn't come easy to any professional footballer, especially towards the start of the season. So, squad rotation is going to be key here. I know Dan had the argument online about potentially making sure it's as strong as possible, just to build that momentum, but I don't think that's actually plausible, with the likes of John Terry especially. to play so many games in a given period of time. It's not going to work for us. So we have to give some sort of squad rotation to that side and make sure they're all fresh ready for Friday, because Friday is the big one. Getting through the cup's always nice for momentum. Getting through the cup's always nice because you're in the cup. But at this point now, I'm thinking league is the main focus as expected, and really needs to crack on with that. So performance in the League Cup, I wouldn't mind it one bit, and it's good to try and get some momentum now, especially considering that Norwich was the first win that we've had all season, and really it's time to kick on, because Bruce is under pressure still. If we lose tomorrow, I think that Bruce is under immense pressure again. He sort of gave a bit of leeway by winning on Saturday, but if we lose tomorrow, pressure's going to crank back up, I think, again, come Friday against Bristol City. So what do you think of our chances ahead of tomorrow's game against Wigan Athletic? Make sure you're heading over to the FanScore app. There's going to be the link below, and it's also around me now. I think it is for you to join the Villa View FanScore League. You get your predictions in there for your first goal scorer, your full-time score, and all that sort of jazz. I'm going to predict a 2-0 win for Aston Villa with 2 goals coming from, I think it's going to be from Albert Adoma with 1, and I think Henry Lansbury is going to get the other one. So I'm going to go 2-0 Aston Villa on the FanScore app. Go and predict yourselves what you think on there. If you have enjoyed this video, then please do drop us that like below. Comment in your thoughts on ahead of the game, and subscribe to the Villa View. You'll post notifications on if you're new to the channel. If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another one? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. And don't forget to subscribe. Click on our logo there on the left and press subscribe. Easy.